Hey guys, uh, nice to see you all. I am going to try to do a brief demo and video it on how to get started with that worksheet. Well, not a worksheet, it's instructions. So that's found on the Canvas website. And that, if you do everything correctly, will make one of these. And this is the methodology to use when scaling your first phase into the second phase. Slide together and create a cube. 4 by 4 inches, 4 inches here, 4 inches here, and 4 inches here in all directions. You can see those parts are right here also. Now, first thing you need to think about, I'm going to move the camera a little bit, is how you're drawing out your shapes. And I do have this transparent triangle that helps me a lot. It has markings on it that allows me to be more precise, but you can also use a straight up ruler and measure things as I showed you in class. Try to use your material as efficiently as possible. And I am going to draw out the pieces to make this from this diagram. So I know that the combination of this and this in terms of height is just a hair under 6 inches. So I'm going to the side of my cardboard. I know that this is 4. This is 1 15/16, as noted right there. And I'm marking 4 inches from this end, and then 1 15/16. Okay, I can take my square at this point and line things up so that I am accurate in creating my 90-degree line off of those two measurements. And drawing it out. Do the same thing to the 4-inch mark. I'm using a ballpoint pen, so hopefully you guys can see me as I make a mark. Remember, the mechanical pencil is your best bet to stay accurate. Ballpoint pen does create a little bit wider of a line, but it is still predictable, so it's not a terrible tool to use. I need to make these longer. They need to be 8 inches long. And while I'm here, I'm going to mark the 4. There. Do the same thing down here. Okay. Now there's a couple of things I could do, but the most accurate one will be to use the triangle again. Draw these edges. And what I'm doing is lining up one of the lines in the triangle that's printed on the triangle with my top line that I drew, so that I know I'm drawing a 90-degree line, or a 90-degree angle rather. Scoot back and do the same thing again over here. As you can see, I have my 2 squares and my 2 rectangles. 2 squares, 2 rectangles. Now the next thing I need to do is mark where my slots will go, because I know that this slot and this slot are in the middle of 2 shapes that are the same width. I can be more efficient in the way that I measure because I know they will both be centered. I'm marking 1/8 of an inch of width, so 1/16 of an inch on either side of the center. Now with my triangle, I can line up on those marks and remember this guy. I know that this slot is 15/16, so I'm on the one. I'm going to draw the line to 15/16 just before the next number. Here, I know that they're lined up. I know this is a 2-inch slot, so I'm going to make it 2 inches long. Let's scoot over and do the other side of the slot. To 15/16. Same thing here, down to 2 inches. Mark the length. So now I have 2 pieces with 2 slots, but I only really had to measure once. I'm going to do the same thing over here because it is basically redundant. I have essentially done this side. Now I need to do this side. Same situation as before, just marking my points for the slot. Here we go. And really, those points just look like 2 little hash marks, okay? That's all you need. Lining up my square again. I'm going to put it on the 1-inch mark. That way I know where I'm measuring from. And these slots do have specific depths. So they need to be measured specifically. 15/16. And then 2. Move over to the next one, do the same thing. Make sure I'm still square. I moved a little bit. I just moved over 1/8 of an inch, but I'm not square anymore. Stop at 15/16 and then come down again and stop at 2. And now I'm almost done drawing it out. I'll just have to do these slots. Oops, it's hard to do this backwards. Yeah, anyway, that one and that one. I can pick either side. Since this one's in the middle, it'll be easier, have more material around it. Same situation, just marking the location of where the slot will be, or slots. There will be 2. That's a little wide. Yes, it is. It should be there. Mark through that. If you mismark it, that's okay. Just make sure you know which mark is correct. And setting it up at the 1 so that I know I'm drawing my 2 15/16 inch long, almost 1 inch, but not quite, slots, 15/16. I'm gonna do another one on this side. Since I'm lined up at the 5, I'm gonna go back to, oh, that would be 4 1/16. Do that one more time. Looks good. Draw that out to 15/16. And again here. Close that off. Now, I have my parts drawn, right? All the measurements you need are located here. To help you with the ruler, I have an expanded, blown up view of a ruler here, so you can figure out where the 16ths are. I'm going to stop there and do another video of how to cut.